What is going on YouTube? This is 717 Sports Chat Live. I'm your host, Marcus J. Witherspoon here with Roberto P. Cuz, you know what I mean? Back in the building, back in the
What's
studio
up? What's
tonight.
up?
Took the day off yesterday, needed a little break, especially after all the back and forth we were doing. We went like almost 5 hours straight between
Yeah,
that Canelo event, and then we fortunately caught the USMAN and Covington fight as a bonus. Speaking of which, I got to trim all that down so I can shorten those into videos so everybody else ain't watching like 4 hours worth of content and stuff.
yeah.
It's going to be a late night for your boy here. I got to get my coffee ready. Like for real.
I
It's
got a
going to be a
coffee
real
machine
late
right
night.
here.
What was that, cuz?
I got a coffee machine right here.
Yeah, I got mine. I got mine downstairs, man. You know what I mean? It's going to be a long night. You know what I mean? But that's the beauty of being able to trim down videos and all that stuff. So when people want to watch it, you know what I mean, they ain't got to watch 4 hours worth of content. They can just watch, you know what I mean, 30 minutes or 20 or 10, whatever long. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So I got to trim down all these episodes we done did and stuff like that and put them out there on the channel. I also got to start doing some discussions on the YouTube channel and stuff like that. And that's why I gave you the information to log in and all that stuff. So even without me, like if you're home before I am, and you know something happens, you know what I
yeah,
mean, like something crazy happens, y'all sign OBJ, do anything. You
yeah.
know what I mean? If you want to make a quick video, bang, 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 you know what I mean? You got it and stuff like that. But once again, this is 717 Sports Chat Live. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as well as hit that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates. We're going to get started here, and we're going to talk about Canelo versus Plant aftermath. Where do both fighters go after Saturday night's fight? As everybody knows, Canelo Alvarez knocked out Caleb Plant in the 11th round with a beautiful left hook that clearly severely hurt Plant. And then once he got up, it was just Canelo for the kill from there. Um, man, where would you like to see? First and foremost, where would you like to see? Obviously, the undisputed champ now, Canelo Alvarez. Who would you like to see him fight next? Would you like to see him maybe move up to 175 permanently, or stay at 168? Because there is a couple fights out there to maybe he can clean out the rest of the division. Where do you see Canelo? Who do you see Canelo fighting next?
I could see him fighting David and David what's his last name?
Benavides.
Benavides. Yeah, I could see him fighting him. And I can also see him going, like you said, for the past couple of days, moving up to 175.
Some fights there. There's definitely some fights
And I'll
there.
and I also like to see him fight the Charlo brothers.
Yeah, I mean, that's just off them guys, especially if Jamal,
Yeah,
who's a little bit closer in weight to Canelo right now at 160. That's all about if he wants to step up and take the fight. I personally don't think I don't personally think he wants to move up to 168 yet. There's a reason why he said, "Oh, I'll fight David Benavides at 160," knowing Benavides hasn't a hard enough time making it to 168. So, I mean, of course, unless the money's right, Charlo's going to have to understand that if he wants a Canelo fight, he's the B side,
yeah,
which means he's going to have to come up to 168 if
yeah.
he wants that fight. I think the Benavides fight is more likely. I think it makes a ton more sense, especially for May 5, which is, obviously a big Mexican holiday. It's been a talked about fight for a while now. A lot of boxing fans want to see that fight. A lot of boxing fans give Benavides the best chance out of anybody at 168 to beat Canelo.
Yeah.
You know, so I would like to see that fight. Another interesting fight. I want to say interesting is kind of obviously a rerun, but I was reading on badlefthook.com. That's my site where I go to all my boxing information and analysis and thoughts, etc. or whatever. And they said right now would be the best time for Canelo Alvarez to fight Gennady Golovkin for a third time. And Canelo, they asked him about that fight after Plant, and he said he would love to fight Gennady Golovkin again for a third time. Now, my question, I guess, for you would
Of course,
be,
because he's old now. Not the same fighter he was.
okay, Now, I think the big question would be too, though, is this. We know Gennady, I mean, he's still fighting at 160. He's 39 years old.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that maybe moving up in weight will turn back the clock and make him a younger fighter. But do you think maybe the reason why he's looked somewhat sluggish his last couple fights is because maybe obviously with age, he just really can't make 160 anymore and should maybe move up to 168? And if he does, do you give him a better chance at 168 than 160? I don't see Canelo moving back down to
For
160.
sure. I could see it because, I mean, it depends on him and his body, because if he moves up to 168, will he be more powerful or will he be too big where his bigness kind of affects his punching power? So, but if it does, I could really see his power really hurting Canelo if he moves up to 168, if it converts to 168.
Yeah. I wouldn't want, I mean, because I don't see Canelo's not jumping back down to 160. That's just not happening. He's too big now for 160.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to see that fight, because even if Gennady puts on the weight, as we know, that weight could also hurt him and make him even more slower.
Yeah.
And given his advanced age, given that this would be the third time Canelo is fighting him and he already knows what to expect, damn, I hate to say this, but I could see Canelo stopping him in under 10 rounds.
Yeah.
Because of the body shots. In the second fight, in the first fight, we both agree GGG won that fight. That was a robbery.
Yeah.
The second fight, why, even though I kind of still lean towards GGG, when I went back and watched it, I said, okay, this is why people went with Canelo, is because of the body work early. And when you looked at that, that gave Gennady a lot of problems. He did not like getting hit to the body.
Yeah.
Now, granted, much to his credit, he adjusted and found a way to work through it and still somehow outland and start landing big, hard shots on Canelo. But just father time.
Yeah.
He has not looked like the same fighter he once was his last couple fights.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, including myself, said Derevyanchenko beat him. He should have lost that fight.
I didn't watch it. I'm gonna
He got
watch it later.
outboxed. He got outboxed. Like, he did. Like, I'd rather see Canelo fight Benavidez and Charlos and those type of guys. I don't want to see him fight Gennady. I think that chapter's closed.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, and Saturday night was vindicative of this, you got to knock him out to beat him.
Yeah.
You have to. Because no matter how much you outbox him early or whatever, the judges are not going to be on your side. You have to really do something. You have to hurt him.
Yeah.
You have to hurt him in order to beat him or knock him down. Like, and it's sad.
Yeah,
but
it's so
true.
unfair.
It is unfair. It really is. Because as we both said while we were doing the commentary for the fight, Caleb Plant was outboxing him the whole fight.
I had him up 7 rounds to 1.
You know what I mean?
Going into
at the time of the stoppage, you had it 7-3.
Yeah. So I had Canelo win a couple rounds in a row.
Yes. And I had it 8-2. And I'm just like, yo, how? And when you look at the unofficial scorecard, when you look at the official scorecard, it's like, what were you guys watching?
I seen one that was 96-92. And then I seen that guy that was talking, one of the analysts. He gave Canelo round 1, round 2. Like, how did he win round? He didn't even throw a punch in round 1.
No.
They were not a single punch, and you gave it to him. Like, it's just biased at its highest level, man.
Yep, exactly. And it's just like I said before the fight, Caleb Plant if he really wants to, if he's going to really win this fight, he has to beat Canelo up. He's got to make him bleed. He's got to knock him down a couple times.
I think if they was to ever have a rematch, I think he should do exactly what he did. Just sit on those punches and make them a lot harder.
I think
because he was doing all the right things, except he was just pity patting a lot of the fight. I think
also what will help him, as obviously, well, I have my own theory that it was other stuff that helped Juan Marquez knock out Manny Pacquiao when he did. You know what I mean? But what Marquez also did in his training was at weightlifting. That power. Add some weightlifting. I think if Caleb Plant can add a little bit of weightlifting to his training and sit down on those punches, like you said, he could be a really big problem. Because he has the defense now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just also what you pointed out, and you said it, you know what I mean? And when I went back and like replayed the knockout, etc., when he gets a little bit tired, his defense kind of slips.
There's a lot of holes in it. He gets kind of sloppy with his defense.
So I want to say add some power, but watch the cardio as well. Improve that cardio, that endurance. You know what I mean? Because he's got the tools. I was really impressed with his performance. And I posted it on the group page, you know what I mean? And was like, look, I don't care what anybody says. Like, he was outboxing him. Like, give this guy his credit. You know what I mean? Like, he showed he belonged in that ring. You know what I mean? So speaking about Caleb Plant,
and I would love to see
who do you want to see him fight next? Would you want to see him move up to 175? I even said maybe. I'm going through scenarios in my head. I wouldn't mind if he can do it, moving down to 160.
Yeah. What division is that?
Middleweight.
Yeah.
168 super middleweight and 160 is middleweight, regular middleweight.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because obviously at 168, he's somewhat of a light puncher.
Yeah.
So if he can do it, and he's still young, and I think he can because he's still young. If he can hire a nutritionist to get him down to 160, I think being that because he's already been a bigger man at 168,
for sure
that will help increase his power. Huh?
Oh, for sure he can go to 160. It's only 8 pounds.
See, but that's not always true though, man. See, that's why they say weight is a big thing. Because when your body, especially when your walk around weight, it's all about what your walk around weight is. It's just like with Chad Dawson. You remember Chad Dawson?
Yeah.
Remember when he dropped down in weight to fight Andre Ward? What happened? He could barely throw a punch. 168 and 175, that's only a 7-pound weight difference. But because you're so used to fighting at a heavier weight and walking around heavier, when you lose them extra couple pounds, it does take its toll on you. Cutting weight is not fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not fun. It's not meant to be fun. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. That's why boxing implemented so many different weight classes so these guys can feel more comfortable getting down in weight.
Yeah.
I mean, which now when I look at stuff like UFC, because UFC has one set weight classes for each division, now that I see how sometimes those fighters go through hell making weight, I can see why boxing made so many divisions, and I kind of agree with it. I just wish they in each division they'd have one belt.
Yeah.
That's it. Just one belt. That would make everything so much better. But as far as opponents, who would you like to see Caleb Plant fight next?
I would like to see David Benavidez. I would like to see Jamal Charlo. I like to see.
I would like that more.
And possibly, because you know Canelo's probably not going to do it, but we could see a rematch in maybe not this year, but the year after, because you know Canelo likes to take his time with rematches.
Yeah.
But for the time being, I can see him fighting David Benavidez, Jamal Charlo. And I really got to educate myself on more boxers in that division. But I mean, that's my top 2. Well, top 3.
Well, that's really
I
all
would
there
love to
is
see him
left.
next.
He's cleaned out
Yeah.
the entire division, basically. That's really all there is left. There's guys are going to have to come up.
Yeah. Who's at
My
175?
3 fighters are Charlo. I wouldn't see him fight Charlo because Benavidez is next for Canelo because May 5 is a big Mexican holiday.
And I would also like to see who's that guy that Jamal Charlo should have lost against in his last fight.
I forget his name, but I know who you're talking about because he gave him a lot of problems.
I would like to see
The
Caleb
Mexican
Plant also
boy.
fight that dude. Because don't he has a belt as well? The dude that fought him? Jamal Charlo?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna search it up real quick.
It was for Charlo. It was for Charlo's belt.
I would like to see if that dude can get a belt. I would like to see Caleb Plant fight him.
That could be an interesting fight. My top 3 fighters though would be Jamar Charlo.
Castano. It was Castano.
Yes, Castano. There we go. Yeah,
I would like to see him fight Castano as well.
That would be a good fight. That would be a good fight. That would. But for me, I'm going to go with Charlo, Danny Jacobs.
Yeah, I forgot about Danny. Danny would be a good fight too.
Danny Jacobs. That would be because both were coming off. Danny's coming off a win, but Danny's kind of hasn't fought in a little bit. So that would be a good crossroads fight for both. Get back in title contention. Or Gennady Golovkin.
Playing with whoop Gennady Golovkin, man. Looking at his previous fights, I think he will whoop Gennady Golovkin. He's too slow. The defense is too good.
What concerned me is the same thing with Canelo. Can he hurt Gennady enough to back him up?
I don't think he would have to because he's so slow and his defense is so good. I think all he would have to. I think he will be harder to just jab with versus Canelo. I think Canelo's an easy fighter, just jab and just get out the way and move.
Yeah.
I think Gennady
because
is
Canelo
going to cut
plods.
that ring off and keep you on the ropes. I think Gennady's very good at that.
Yeah, because Canelo plods and he walks you down.
Yeah.
That's his game now. He likes to walk you down. That's what Canelo likes to do now. Oh man, like I said, I would really want Plant to fight Charlo. And the reason why is because if he can beat Charlo, then there's no excuse for why Canelo can't.
Sure, he can beat him. But the thing is, if he gets caught with that punch, which he will, because it's inevitable, they're going to get hit in a boxing match.
Well, yeah,
it's inevitable. If he gets hit with that right hand, is he going to be able to take it and not go down?
That's true. I would pray that he would, because, like I said, that's all him and his brother have is a right hand.
Yeah,
that's it. And it's sad because you know what I mean. I would like to get behind them, but it is talk too much and they ain't fight nobody, and I can't respect nobody like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just can't do it. But, be that as it may, we'll see how everything goes from here. I'm sure we'll hear something soon. My money's on Canelo versus Benavidez. Really don't have anything on Plant yet, but it would be nice to see. It would be nice to see him get either one of those fights, Jacobs, Golovkin, or Charlo. But Castano wouldn't be a bad fight at all neither.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a bad fight at all. All right, we're going to move on now to Usman versus Covington. Did the judges get it wrong? As everybody knows, Kamaru Usman retained his UFC welterweight title, 170 welterweight title on Saturday night in a rematch against Colby Chaos Covington. One judge surprisingly had this fight 4 rounds to 1 in favor of Usman, and I don't know how that scorecard came about.
Yeah.
We fortunately was able to catch the fight. I mean, right as they were walking out, so that was extra bonus we did on the stream. After going back and watching it, because at the end of the fight, I had it a draw. I said I couldn't really find it. No, you had Covington winning. You had Covington winning 3-2.
Yeah, because I thought he won that final round.
Yeah. So when I went back and watched that fight, I agreed, and I gave Covington that last round. Covington should have won that fight 3 rounds to 2.
Yeah.
So obviously, I think it's now safe to say we agree the judges got it wrong, especially that 4-1 card. I don't know where they got that at. You know what I mean? How
Yeah.
like that was
I
terrible.
gave
That's just
Usman
like
the
a
first
Canelo
round
card.
because he was more active in the first round. In round 2, he knocked him down and
Yeah.
hurt him. But after round 3, you could see Covington really settle in and hit him with more punches. And it's that underneath
Maybe the 2 knockdowns,
jab.
the
He was
points.
connected with him all night. Usman
Maybe
couldn't
the
do
2
anything with it.
knockdowns. The 2
Yeah.
knockdowns, the points.
Yeah.
That's probably how they scored it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree because once I went back and watched it, the first 2 rounds obviously went to Usman. But then Colby swept the rest of the fight.
Yeah.
He did. He swept the rest of the fight. He started becoming more active. Once he was able to weather the storm from Usman, it's like he settled in and he started throwing some bombs of his own, and he clipped Usman a couple times. And I remember when he did clip Usman with that uppercut and he went for the takedown. And I remember saying to you on the stream, I'm like, why would he go for the take? You got to keep swinging in that instance. Like, he had him hurt. If I have no doubt, if he doesn't go for the takedown and he keeps throwing punches, he's the new UFC welterweight champion. Because he hurt him. He buckled him.
Yeah, he did.
He buckled him good. And he just... I guarantee when Colby goes back and watches that fight, he's going to think, when he watches it, he's probably going to be like, why did I go for the takedown?
Yeah.
I should have just kept punching. You know what I mean? But the judges either way got it wrong. You know what I mean? Especially with that wide scorecard. I mean, yeah, sure. You could count the knockdowns, but my thing is Colby made up for that with 2 takedowns and excuse me. And he visibly clipped Kamaru Usman, like severely stunned him twice.
Yeah, remember? Yeah, he was like at the end of the round. Remember one at the end of the round?
Yep.
Yeah, I think he got saved by the bell on that one.
Oh yeah. He got saved. He got saved twice. He got saved by Colby hurting him and not going for the finish on punches, by going for the takedown, and he got saved by the bell because he was hurt. It was those 2 uppercuts.
Yeah, he couldn't do anything with that uppercut.
Nope.
He was hitting him every single time they got into a brawl. He hit him with it.
Yeah. Whenever Colby wanted that uppercut, he got it. And he should have just kept throwing punches. Like, he should have. That, as a fight fan, when I go back and watch these fights, and I try to put my mind in the perspective of the fighter themselves. And I saw that again, and I'm just like, man, if I'm him, I'm like, why the hell did I go for the takedown?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I should have just kept punching. He keeps punching, the fight's over. And he had so much time. When he had like 2 minutes left in that round, man, that's heartbreaking right there.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking. But yeah, definitely the judges, I agree, got it wrong. I didn't, either way, whether you scored the knockdowns or what, I don't see how you scored the end of the rest of the fight 4 rounds to 1 for Usman, and it was a unanimous decision. Like,
yeah.
I thought, if anything, it should have been a split decision going either way or a draw.
Yeah.
But at the end, when I rewatched it, I said Colby won that fight. I mean, so it's going to be interesting to see where both those fighters go from here too. But to say, I know Masvidal's tied up with Leon Edwards, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I will say this quick note on Usman. He wants to box Canelo.
I know Canelo. I heard Canelo said that I don't want to do it. It's not going to help my legacy.
No, because these MMA guys know boxing is where the money's at.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? It's cool to see these crossover fights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in terms of Canelo, like, he's in the peak of his career.
Yeah.
And he's real big on pride and legacy. Those MMA fights, like he says, do nothing for him. I'll put it this way.
Fool did it was because he was already retired.
Well, it does. it does two wrong things for him. It does one, it could do nothing for him, but make him a lot of money. But it also is a very high risk because it's a chance this MMA guy can land that one shot and knock you the fuck out. And that would tarnish his legacy. It would.
Yeah.
As the pure boxer, it would. That's just like if Conor McGregor would have landed that one left hand shot on Mayweather and it crumpled Mayweather.
Yeah.
That would have tarnished Floyd's legacy.
I can only imagine. Imagine.
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad that
didn't know
didn't
how
happen.
many people, when that fight was announced, was so praying to the fight guys that Conor knock him out? Because how many people hates Floyd?
I remember that, yo. That was a big fight.
Yes.
That was a big fight.
Yes. I will say this, and it's funny because thanks to my buddy Ray, shout out to my buddy Ray, I have a Mayweather McGregor fight poster sitting right up here on my wall.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is if you replay that fight, I think it was the 8th round.
Mm-hmm. You hurt Mayweather a little bit.
It was a body shot. They said it was a low blow. The referee said it was a low blow, but it wasn't. It was a right hand to the body, and that hurt Mayweather. It did. It hurt Mayweather. And the ref kind of saved him. I will be open and say that. The ref kind of saved him. But either way, I mean, I don't think Conor would have been able to follow up on it because he didn't know how to throw punches to the face in terms of boxing. You know what I mean? He wasn't well versed at putting punches together. You know what I mean? In terms from a boxing standpoint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I mean, that's what we're getting now, man. I mean, your boys DePaul started this crap, so you know what I mean? Like, now everybody wants a piece of it. I don't blame him, though.
Jake Paul's gonna beat Tommy Fury too.
Oh my God.
He is, yo.
Do you know what though? In all honesty, and I'm being honest, that wouldn't surprise me if he did. And for two reasons. Even though Tommy is obviously the better, I mean, he's the more experienced, and he do got hands.
Yeah.
He's got some good hands. But two things. He has a weak defense.
Yeah.
And he's never really fought anybody as big as him.
Yeah. Ain't Jake Paul taller than him? He's 6 foot and Jake Paul 6'1".
Yeah, but that
it don't really matter. But I'm saying, like,
but and also I'll throw this in there too. Tommy Fury is also like a TV personality in England. Like he's like a soap opera actor.
Yeah, he's not really a boxer neither. His brother was just a boxer. He probably grew up around it, but he's not a full-fledged boxer like Tyson Fury. Yeah,
I'll give it to him. The kid's he's got good hand speed. He can put punches together. It's just he leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to defense.
Yeah.
And one thing I will give Jake is he knows how to land that right hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting, but man, I'll be honest, I pray that Tommy beats him because I do not want to hear this. Oh my God, I beat a real boxer. And
I like Jake Paul.
I like Logan.
Yeah, I like him too. He's more humble.
Put it this way, I'll be honest. He's
more down to earth to reality.
I've lightened up on Jake a little bit ever since I watched that clip of him breaking down in tears about how people hate on him, like hate him, and he doesn't understand why and stuff. And he's like, yo, I just don't understand why people hate me so much. I'm just trying to live out my dream like this. I'm real like, and I felt that. You know what I mean? Because it's like, dang, you know what? I can't hate on his hustle. What I didn't really initially like about him is when he sat there, because one, you're not fighting real boxers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then two, you talking about, oh, I'm starting to get CTE. And I'm like, yo, man, that's not something to joke
That's
around
not
about.
funny, yeah.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So that's why I'm like, yo, like, nah, like you want to talk about CTE, you play like that, you're gonna end up getting it, and someone's gonna hit you the right way. You keep messing with this game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean,
The big question is, where does Jake Paul go if he does win this fight? Do you fight an even better boxer?
Canelo.
Canelo's not going to want to fight him.
Yeah, he will. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Jake will push for it at that point harder than he's pushed for it before. He'll have leverage. He'll have leverage.
You don't think he'll want to fight Conor McGregor?
Well, I think he still does.
Yeah.
I think he still does. But being that McGregor has lost his last couple UFC fights, I feel like McGregor would have to win a couple fights to get back in that conversation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab something to drink real quick.
But just imagine how big, and I know this sounds stupid, imagine if Logan Paul and Jake Paul fought.
Wait, say that again?
Imagine if Logan Paul and Jake Paul fought, set up a fight.
Oh, that's what I want to see.
That'd be
I
crazy.
think it's gonna happen.
That'd be crazy.
It would be. It's too much money. People will buy that.
Yeah.
That'd be the most bought celebrity boxing match ever.
It's
Easily.
so stupid though.
Easily. No, because it's two brothers fighting. Who would watch two brothers fight? He like
yo, like, man, we used to get in trouble fighting each other as kids.
That's serious.
Now look at us.
Like, I would like to see that.
Just imagine the younger brother wins. Like, that's probably so much bragging rights. So much bragging rights.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I can only imagine. Jake would win because he takes it more seriously.
Yeah.
He takes it more seriously. You know what I mean? That's why I was honest. I said, if Mayweather was fighting Jake,
he might have fell into the problems. I think Floyd just getting a little up there.
Well, I think that was it. I don't think he's ever coming back after that.
Yeah, but call me crazy, but I think Logan Paul might beat Mike Tyson if it's not an exhibition. If it's an exhibition, then
no,
but nobody's gonna win.
Man, no.
Yes, he will.
No,
and this is not me being delusional. Like in his prime, he's gonna whoop him. But I'm saying like now.
Listen. Did you watch that Mike Tyson Roy Jones Jr. that fight? Did you watch that last year?
Yeah, I also feel like Roy Jones was kind of making that fight not as entertaining because
he couldn't. Because one, he was too heavy. He never fought nowhere above 210 pounds before in his boxing career. And then two, did you hear them body shots, man?
Nah,
did you hear the duds?
Listen,
did you hear the duds? The duds at 55 years of age, man.
Listen,
the thuds, man.
But I'm telling you, Logan will win. I'm trying to tell you, he would. He would. He will win.
You just don't like Mike Tyson.
I like Mike Tyson.
I don't know. You keep saying all these guys are going to beat him. Even Logan Paul.
Nah, man. I like Mike Tyson, man.
Oh, man.
I just don't think he'll beat Logan Paul or Deontay Wilder. It's the truth.
We're not going to do this again. Oh, man. That's crazy. We got some more celebrity fights then to talk. We got another celebrity fight to talk about then. But now we're going to move on to Deshaun Jackson signs with the Raiders. We talked about this last week. I told you that the Raiders are going to be looking at him or OBJ or possibly both to land, especially after the Henry Ruggs incident. We got DeSean Jackson. I like it. I just
Yeah.
hope he can stay healthy. I don't expect us to use him every
I don't think
down.
I'll use him as heavily.
No.
I think they'll use him as, because like as y'all, the guy gonna replace Henry Ruggs. I think not can replace him because he's not not as young.
No, because
but
Ruggs was on the field 70 to 80% of the snaps.
yeah, but I think he will just be a big impact in y'all deep ball, something that y'all will miss from Henry Ruggs.
Well, absolutely, because you've seen it in that game against the Giants this past weekend. We couldn't take the top off of the defense.
Yeah.
And you see when we can't take the top off the defense, we're pretty pedestrian on offense. Like, we need that speed over the top to be able to stretch the field. Yeah. So I really like it. I just hope that he can stay healthy because he has not been able to stay healthy the last couple of years.
It's doing good this far into week 10.
Yeah, but given our luck all year, it'll be our luck he'll get hurt.
First game. Torn ACL.
Don't do that.
Torn ACL. Wow, he got a touchdown too.
Hey. So not only does he get a deep ball touchdown, but on a deep ball, he tears his ACL on the way.
Yeah.
Just more bad luck for my team.
That's y'all luck.
It is true. You're not lying.
And then before that game, y'all coach test positive. Y'all backup coach test positive for COVID.
Man, just wishing all types of bad luck on my team. This is
knock
why
on
your
wood.
team's never going to get to the Super
I'm
Bowl.
knocked on wood.
This is exactly why your team's not getting to the Super Bowl this year, and Aaron Rodgers leaving.
Oh my goodness! And then Jordan Love's going ball. Jordan Love's going ball.
Huh?
Jordan Love's going ball. I seen a couple good things from Jordan Love in that game.
I honestly didn't get to watch it. I am going to go back and watch that because that's something I did want to go back and do. I wanted to see how he looked.
I seen overall it wasn't that good. Tell you that right now. Overall it wasn't that good. But
it's his first NFL start. Let me tell you something. Kansas City might be top two. Well, I would say it's Kansas City and Seattle are the two roughest places to play.
Yeah.
In the NFL around this time of the year.
For Kansas City, they did not game. They were blitzing him all game.
They were
setting everybody.
And because that's
they
what
did
you
a very
do.
good job with that. It's just the fact that he's so young and they forcing the ball out of his hands rather than you giving him time
letting him set.
Yep. Another thing, he has to fix his spiral. I've seen so many balls that go up in the air and they're just wobbling. Like he has to fix that.
I told you, he's inaccurate.
He was accurate because he hit a good deep ball running to the right, and he didn't even get to set his feet. He just threw it to Randall Cobb.
I'm talking about in terms of delivery of the ball. Like,
yeah,
you want that thing to come out on a whim.
Yeah.
You don't want that to be wobbly because when you got it wobbly like that, anything can happen with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to go back. I'm going to see if I see anything I like from him. You know, the pros and cons, see what happens. But I mean, you said that Matt LaFleur's play calling was going to be tested, and so far it didn't look too good.
I think the biggest thing we did wrong in that game was throwing the ball 34 times. I think we should have been running the ball because every time we ran, we was getting yardage on them. And not Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon.
They can't stop the run.
Every single week, I'm starting to become a bigger and bigger fan of A.J. Dillon because I feel like, yes, Aaron Jones is more explosive, but A.J. Dillon is more reliable because he's bigger and he can break tackles and get extra yardage. Aaron Jones, he is a smaller dude. And so as soon as he gets hit, it's kind of just end of the play when he gets hit. But with Aaron Jones, you have the opportunity to be more yards. And he's faster.
Yards after the catch.
Yeah. And he's a better catcher than A.J. Dillon.
Receiving back. Yeah, but A.J. Dillon, that was a good pickup in that second round because he's a thumper. And you need that.
Yeah. especially
you
after
need
we
that.
lost Jamal Williams last year, because we knew he wasn't going to resign him. No, he was good with us. He was good. A little
He was
crazy, but
okay.
he was good.
He was okay. He don't have the upside AJ Dillon has. That guy has upside.
Yeah.
I like him because he's an old school downhill runner. That's why I like him.
Yeah.
Like, because he goes to run through you. You know what I mean? And that's why I
Yeah.
like him. Like Williams, much to Williams' credit, he was a good catch back. He was a good receiver out the backfield too.
Yeah.
He can get you some catches too. But speaking of your Packers, when you told me this earlier, I meant what I said. You guys just couldn't stay away, could you? You just had to rear y'all ugly cheese heads, didn't y'all? Why?
Spilling cheese whiz everywhere.
OBJ eyeing the Packers. Will signing him help Green Bay get past Tampa Bay and LA?
Yeah. Because I think we can already get past Tampa Bay and LA. And they talk about this. And listen. Because if we were to go in, right, what would be Tampa Bay and LA's most thing? Double team Devontae Adams and just hope we can get one-on-one and lock down Alan Lazard and Marcus Valdes-Scantling.
Which is what they did
right?
last year.
But just imagine, right, if you got Devontae Adams and Odell Beckham Jr. and Randall Cobb, in the slot, right? You can't double team Devontae Adams because you're going to have Odell Beckham Jr. And then you could get Randall Cobb. Like,
opens everything up.
It'll be crazy. Like, it'll be very hard for defenses to stop. And you got Aaron Jones in the backfield. So Aaron Rodgers can just do whatever he wants. And just imagine Aaron Rodgers doing whatever he wants. Imagine the numbers, the stats, the points. Like, and our defense is starting to click up, and we don't even have our key players like Zadarius Smith and Jair Alexander.
That's true.
Yet. Like, just
our defense has been surprisingly playing pretty good.
And we don't even got our best offensive lineman, David Bakhtiari, who I think is making his debut.
Yeah, he is. He's coming back. That's true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, if you guys get Odell, like, I think if you guys get Odell, you will get past Tampa because I just think Tampa's too banged up in that secondary. You know what I mean? And it's been proven if you can get pressure after Brady, you can get them off the field and you can take shots on that defense and score some points on them, they can't come back.
If you keep the ball out of Tom Brady's hands,
yes. Not even that. If you can put, like I said, put pressure. Look what the Saints did. They put pressure on him and they forced him into turnovers.
I just hate having a lead.
Same with the Rams.
I just hate having a lead against Tom Brady in the fourth quarter. I just hate it. Like, I think everybody does. Like,
yeah, because it's like you almost kind of know he's going to come back.
What's up with that man?
But I think with this team, I think with that offense, you guys would have the ability to run up the points on them to where they wouldn't be able to come back because, like I said, that defense is so banged up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That defense is so banged up. You know what I mean?
We play LA this year as well, too.
And that, to me, is y'all toughest challenge because, like I said, once that defense with Von Miller –
yeah.
And the thing you got to worry about with them, unlike Tampa, is they have the secondary.
Yeah.
They have the secondary to lock your guys up. They do.
Yeah.
If you guys get Odell, I'm looking at Green Bay versus Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I just honestly, like, people can say, oh, well, you're sleeping on Tampa too much. No, I don't trust Tampa's defense going into the playoffs. I don't trust that secondary. Not when you have a team like Green Bay, if they got to play Green Bay, who can match up with them now offensively.
Yeah.
If you look at it.
I still wouldn't want to face them in the playoffs.
Yeah, but if you look at it.
I still got trauma.
It's the perfect mirror image matchup because you got Devontae Adams. You would have OBJ. You would have Randall Cobb go over. Now, granted, Randall Cobb isn't Antonio Brown,
Yeah.
but he's not no slouch in the slot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then you obviously have the equivalent in Tampa or whatever with
And Marcus
Godwin.
Scaling, yo, he can light off the top of a defense. He is fast. He is
That's
faster than
true.
people give him credit for. He is fast. You give him a nice straight route, and he's just a one-on-one. He's beating every defender every time.
Another thing is the tight end situation kind of matches up too with Gronk when he gets back and Tanya.
Yeah.
Because see, a lot of people, especially, because I play fantasy games, are like, oh, Tanya, he just had that one good year. And I'm just like, well, no, because I said, you got to think, they didn't have tape on how to play him.
Yeah.
So there was opportunities. Now just tape on how to play him, and being that Green Bay don't really have any options outside of Devontae Adams, really. Cobb has his good couple games, but he needs the field opened up for him too, because obviously why was Jordy Nelson so good? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He opened up the offense. You get a guy like OBJ, you know what I mean? Like with Aaron Rodgers, not Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Not Eli Manning. You know what I mean? Aaron
the bad man Rodgers.
That just matches up. And I'm sorry, right now, y'all defense is better than Tampa's.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about across the board. Y'all run defense isn't better than Tampa's. But overall, your defense is better than Tampa's right now. You guys are winning games without a lot of your starters on defense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I would give you guys the edge if you make this move over Tampa. I would give you guys the edge because Tampa's banged up on defense. And if you guys get Zadarius Smith back, if you guys can get some pressure on Brady and force him in, you guys had the recipe last year. You just guys didn't have enough on offense.
Yeah.
Getting OBJ would easily put you guys more than enough on offense. To me, it's right now, if you guys sign OBJ, I'm calling it. It's going to be LA and Green Bay in the NFC title game.
I'll sure hope
because I don't think Tampa can beat. I don't think Tampa can beat either one of them. If OBJ gets signed by Green Bay, I just don't. I think with Von Miller playing for being on the Rams now, I think that causes a big problem for Tampa.
But I will say this:
play the Rams.
This year's playoffs in the NFC is going to be entertaining.
It is going to be entertaining.
There's going to be some good teams.
It's going to be entertaining across the board. Look how many good teams there is in the AFC. Look at the AFC West.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the best division in AFC right now. Easily. You got the Chargers, Raiders 5-3, and the Broncos and Chiefs at 5-4. Like, I just hope we don't fold.
You're sure that the Ravens ain't the best team in the AFC?
No, I'm saying we have the best division in the AFC right now. Like, we have the best division in terms of we have all winning teams.
Yeah.
I can't – I want to say what? Well, maybe the AFC North, but I think obviously I think the Raiders, Chiefs, and Chargers are better than the Bengals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I give us the edge in the AFC. But no, I said the Ravens, like, they're really good. Like, and they're doing it too without a lot of their defenders and stuff, a lot of injuries and stuff. That's a well-coached team.
In my eyes,
that's a well-coached
team. The MVP should be Matthew Stafford, and Lamar Jackson, and then everybody else.
This is where I make an argument. And two, this is where I make an argument for Derek Carr. But some things have to happen. Obviously, he has to play better than he did Sunday.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he's been playing very, very well all year. You know what I mean? For the most part. If he can, I'd say, if Derek Carr can finish with like 32 touchdowns, maybe roughly 10 to 12 interceptions, something like that, and get us into the playoffs, I don't see how you don't vote him as MVP, given what this team has been through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's you talk about most valuable player. We're not just talking about statistics. We're talking about what a guy means to that team.
Yeah.
And it's clear cut. Derek Carr is the leader of our team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
at this point, yeah.
I mean, I've been said it. Think about it, man. Look what that man has been through with us. 6 different head coaches. 3 different number 1 wide receivers. How many turnovers of the teams have we flipped this team over? How many times? Like, this guy's been through hell with us.
Yeah.
Like, through hell and back. Like, so for him, if he can get us into the playoffs, especially, I'll say this, if he can win us the division, get us into the playoffs, and his numbers look good, I don't see how you don't vote him as the MVP, given what this team has been through. That has to account for something on top of the stats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see, you know, what the MVP race boils down to. I just, at the end of the day, even if he don't win the MVP, I just want to get into the playoffs. I want the chance.
And I'm telling everybody right now, watch out for a Denver Broncos little winning streak. I think I'm not saying because they're good. Look at their schedule and who they're playing.
Watch out for a little winning streak. It's not impossible. See, and one thing I see, they're a different team with Jerry Jeudy back.
Yeah.
They're a different team with Jerry Jeudy back on offense.
Yeah.
He opens it up for, like, and that team is deep with wide receivers.
Yeah.
You got Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, and Jerry Jeudy. That's a good core. Nobody talks about how good of a wide receiving core Denver has.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now that Teddy Bridgewater has that, now that he has Jerry Jeudy back, maybe we'll see him take that next step.
Yeah. He's been playing very good to me this year.
Yeah, but you got to count, man, and you got to think the first 3 games were against bad teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when they went on that 3-game slide was against better teams, and he did not play that great.
Yeah.
You know, so the key but Sunday, that's what I said, Jerry Jeudy being back and healthy, you saw the results. I mean, they blew through Dallas like it was nothing. Before Dallas, you know, scored those garbage time points, they was beating Dallas 30-0.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so it's like I said, man, it's gonna be tight in the AFC West, man. It is gonna be so tight.
And I want to talk about, do you think Drew Lock still has a career in the NFL as a starter past Denver?
No. Nope.
You don't think Washington can use him to good right now? No? You don't think so?
No. You want to know why, man? He don't have that it factor. He's not a good decision maker. You know what I mean? He's one of what they call the wide-eyed quarterback.
Yeah.
He gets excited, he sees it, but he gets too excited, and it's like he makes that mistake. Like,
yeah.
I don't know though. Then again, it's not impossible. I mean, you're talking to a guy who his team, the last time the Raiders were really any good was back in 2002 when Rich Gannon was our quarterback, and Rich Gannon was our quarterback from 1998 through 2003, and throughout Rich Gannon's whole career, he was a backup quarterback until we signed him and we made him our starter, and he made an All-Pro team, 4 Pro Bowls, and an MVP award. So it's not impossible to resurrect your career. You know what I mean? So maybe the right place. Maybe the right place. Yep. Maybe the right place, the right system will help Drew Lock. I mean, I'll be fair to Drew Lock. Denver, when he was their quarterback, they didn't surround him with that much, especially on the offensive line.
Yeah.
So maybe if you do put him in a situation where you get him some blocking and you put playmakers around him, you see what he can do.
And since we're on this topic, I think if Washington makes a trade for Sam Darnold, Washington will be up there. And Sam Darnold's a good quarterback. I've seen plays this year where he has looked good, especially in that Vikings game where he made a big time throw late in that game to force overtime. Yo, Sam Darnold's a baller, man. Yeah, I feel like he's just been on knots. Like, I don't know. I feel like if he just gets with the right
He's
team.
another guy, and he actually came out and said it, and this is why.
And he's also very young.
Like, yeah, but you know what he said?
What?
He came out and said that they basically need to slow the playbook down because he can't get his feet set. Like, they're moving too fast. And it's like, this is the NFL. This ain't college. Yeah. This isn't college. Like, this is the NFL. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you got to adjust. And you bring that heat, just like I said about Drew Lock. You bring that pressure, he don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he has a big arm. I give him that, but he leaves much to be desired in the accuracy department. But we're going to move on. But I will say this, man. If you guys get OBJ, oh my God, that would be disgustingly entertaining to watch.
Green and yellow.
And he'd fit right in. You know what I mean? Because that passion, you know what I mean? Rodgers is like that.
Yeah.
He wants to win.
He's just a silent type of guy, though.
He wants to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that want to win mentality, I think that would do wonders for you guys, honestly. Yeah. You guys get OBJ, Rodgers is staying.
But do you think, though, and this is the thing, I know you don't want to talk about the past and all that.
Yeah.
But do you think OBJ could have problems if Devontae Adams is getting the ball too much?
No. You want to know why? Because he's in a winning situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's in a winning situation. You got to think, in Cleveland, he didn't make a big fuss.
Yeah. Yeah. As I said, I don't want to bring up old stuff, and I'm saying, like, what if Devontae is getting more time and more spotlight, and would you think he'll have a problem with that?
Well, see, I think it's more like this. I think a lot of the reason why he was snapping out in New York is because Eli was missing him on a lot of throws.
Yeah, same with
It's
Baker.
not that he wasn't getting the ball. It's just like, I'm open.
Yeah.
If I'm open, give me the ball.
Yeah.
If nobody else is open, but I am. You know what I mean? So I get that from OBJ. Now, he won't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? Like you said last week, he would take so much pressure off Devontae, he's going to get his touches.
Yeah.
He's going to get his touches. And he's not going to complain because he easily is going to be with the best quarterback he's ever played with.
Yeah.
And he's going to be in the best position to win and compete for a championship now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to complain. You guys are going to be hella dangerous if you get him. Ridiculously. I said it. It's going to come down to, if you guys get him, it's going to come down to you guys in the Rams and the NFC title game. And that, to me, is a toss-up because y'all high-powered offense going against not only that high-powered offense, but that defense.
And to be honest with you, I'm hoping it's the Cowboys. Because I'm hoping it's the Cowboys.
Just to break their hearts in the NFC title game. Just to break all those.
And you know Aaron Rodgers destroys the Cowboys every time he plays them.
You know what has to happen? You know what has to happen?
What?
It has to happen in Jerry World, though.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah.
It's only going to be better because then you can really break the Cowgirls' heart. You beat them before their people. Do you understand how many crying Cowboys fans to be right there in the NFC title game One win
Oh,
away
man.
from making the Super Bowl, and you get beat down in your home stadium.
Yeah.
It don't
Make
get
my
no
heart
better
flutter.
than that.
Make my heart flutter. Think about it.
All right, we're gonna move on to these last two topics before we close out tonight's show. I wanted to talk about this real quick. And it's something like, basically, like I said, celebrity boxing, man. Like,
yeah,
it's the thing now. So, former NFL star running back Frank Gore set the box former NBA star point guard DERON Williams. Thoughts? Frank Gore's going to kill him.
That's what I'm saying.
He's going to eat him.
Like, I don't know. I just can't.
And I'm not saying that just because he's
winning that fight.
I'm not saying that
Robert Gore, he's going to be way more aggressive.
Well, see, apparently Gore is actually like in the off season, he trains boxing.
Yeah.
So that's something to note. Like, and my thing is, I mean, I don't know about DERON Williams. If I don't think he's done boxing. I think they said he's done like maybe some type of I want to say martial art or something. I mean, since he's been out of the league or whatever and stuff. But either way, man, like I'm looking at Frank Gore. I mean, I look at DERON Williams. He's always been a fleshy type of guy.
Yeah.
Not a guy, who's not like the most muscular dudes. Frank Gore is a tank. Like, he is solid.
But sometimes that don't matter. Look at Tyson Fury.
And I mean, I get that. I get that. It don't matter sometimes, but we're talking about in terms of you put that together, especially if a guy who's been doing this for a while now.
Yeah.
That could spell disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's going to be interesting. I'll watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch it.
Isn't it going to be on the undercard of Tommy Fury and Jake Paul?
I think it is.
Yeah, it's going to be on the undercard.
I'm pretty sure it is. I am pretty sure. Ain't that fight coming in December?
Yep, December
11th?
Yep.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We got the JoJo Diaz and Devin Haney fight that December as well.
All right, good. So we got back-to-back nights. I like the sound of that. Wait, December the 11th. Is that a Saturday? That's a Saturday. Right?
Hold up.
Hold on, check my calendar.
December 19th.
What, Paul and Fury?
Tommy Fury, yeah.
All right, good. Because December 11th is the UFC Masvidal versus. Well, I think it's the main event, something else, if I'm not mistaken. But I want to watch that Masvidal Edwards fight.
Nice.
So I will be tuning in for that. Yeah, I think the heavyweight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Francis Ngannou versus Cyril Gane for the undisputed heavyweight title, for the UFC heavyweight title. I'm going to have to send you over some videos of that too.
All right. And then Devin Haney and JoJo Diaz is December 4th.
Haney's going to destroy him.
Yeah, I think Haney's the best out of all of them,
I know.
And after this fight, I would love to see a Devin Haney and Vasyl Lomachenko. I would love to see it.
Vasily would eat him.
Huh?
Vasily would eat him.
Oh my goodness.
Vasily would eat him. And I'm gonna tell you why, man. I'm not saying I don't like Haney.
Lacks the power. No, but anybody could knock anybody out with a good punch and box.
But Haney don't have a chin, cuz. He don't have a chin, cuz.
Well, we never really seen him get hit before. Because based on
you didn't see his last fight?
Just based on I seen it. Yeah, I seen when he got hit.
Because he got clipped a few times.
And then he was like, bah, and he was like,
he got hurt. He got hurt a couple times. And I said it right then and there. I said his defense is leaky. If he gets hit
skill wise, I don't think nobody's messing with him except what's that guy? Nobody's messing with him except Vasyl Lomachenko. when it comes to skill.
I think Tank
I
and
think he
Vasily beats him.
outboxes Tank. I think he outboxes Lopez, and I think he destroys Ryan Garcia. He destroys.
I don't think he outboxes Tank, and the reason why I say that is because you notice Tank gonna walk him down. And my thing is this: if he gets rocked by a guy who doesn't hit that hard, imagine when Tank hits him flush, cuz. I'm telling you. To me, just to me, and I could be wrong, to me, Tank's the best fighter out of all of them.
I got Devin Haney.
Nah, I think it's Tank, cuz Tank, and the reason why I say that is because you see it. Every fight, he gets better. You know what I mean? And
who has he really fought, though?
You know what I mean? That's not his fault. That's not his fault. Nobody won't fight him. You know what I mean? And the only reason too is Mayweather too, because Mayweather's doing it right, cuz. No, but he's doing it right.
Yeah.
He's getting the money
big fights in the future.
He's getting the money together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. He's building this kid is a brand. That's how you do it. You know what I mean? Shoot. In all honesty, other than Teofimo fighting Vasily, Tank's record and resume is better than all of them. He fought Leo Santa Cruz. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Knocked him out. Leo ain't no slouch.
Yo,
Mario Barrios
is
he
good.
went up to Barrios' division, and Barrios was favored in that fight.
Yeah.
Beat him. Knocked him out. You know what I mean? Like, he's the real deal, cuz. He's the real deal. And I look at, and you know why? I don't like Teofimo, cuz. You want to know why? Because after Vasily Lomachenko, because he was talking all that crap, oh, I want to fight the best. I want to fight the best. As soon as he got the belts, you don't want to fight the best. You're making excuses.
He ain't do nothing. And then I don't like the fact that he's out here calling himself undisputed. You're not undisputed until you beat Devin Haney. Because if he beats Devin Haney, then he will become undisputed. But man, you're not undisputed. And it's like, I don't know, man. I feel like he reminds me of Charlo a little bit. He's just not as bad. He's like a little toned down version of Jamal Charlo. He runs his mouth too much and he can prove anything. Yeah, I mean, you beat Lomachenko.
Yeah.
But, come on, and you're not even going to give him his rematch. Because if Lomachenko gets his rematch, I'm telling you right now, he's going to whoop
Lomachenko's going to beat him. Lomachenko's going to beat him the second time. Lomachenko's going to beat him. That's why he don't want to fight him.
He's going to whoop him.
Yeah, he don't want to fight him. That's why he don't want to fight him. When he seen Lomachenko thrash that bull like that, when everybody thought Lomachenko was done, when he seen Lomachenko thrash him, he's like, "Yup, I don't want that."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I may got him the first time, but I don't want that."
Yeah, it's a fluke.
You know what I mean?
A fluke.
It was. I believe so too. He's not that good. He's not. All right, we're gonna move on. Last night in NBA's Miami Heat and Denver Nugget game, Nikola Jokic and Markieff Morris, the twin brother of Marcus Morris, basically got into a little scuffle. It was started by Morris. He basically shoved Jokic really, really hard, which led to Jokic retaliated and pretty much threw him on the ground. You know what I mean? The reason why I brought this topic up, because you've seen the video, everybody's seen the video, but Stephen A. Smith said that Nikola Jokic should be suspended for what he did. Now, my thing is this. Okay, if you're going to suspend one, you got to suspend the other two, right? Because he was defending himself.
Yeah.
I ain't going to let no man just come up and push me down on the ground, and I'm not going to do it back.
Yeah. Then he ran up and he hit him in his ribs with the elbow.
Yeah.
But then for no really reason, you could have, because it's at the end of the game. He did there once. You could tap him on the wrist. You ran up to him while he was all the way on the other side of the court and ran into his ribs. He didn't move. It was but he didn't move that much. He's a big man. But that don't mean it don't hurt. Yeah. Man, that thing's still going to hurt.
It's the principle. Why are you coming at me like that in the first place?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why are you sitting there trying to, I understand you're supposed to be like the tough guy of the team, but don't pull that tough guy crap with me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's the wrong
So
one.
I'm on Jokic's side with this. Like he wasn't in the wrong. Now I will say this: I don't think neither one of them should be suspended.
Yeah,
I think they should just get fined.
and I don't really think it would be that bad if Morris would have just got up. I think, and I don't know his body, so I'm not going to say anything. But it looked to me as if he was selling it a little bit.
Well, yeah, he was.
Like being like doing all that with his hands and like.
Yeah, he was. He was definitely selling it, man.
Like
he was definitely selling it. There's no doubt about that. He was selling. He was selling it. But
yeah.
My thing is this: how you gonna sell something? How you gonna sell something that you started?
Yeah.
You started it. You should have never did what you did to him. He just retaliated harder. That's all it was. He pushed you harder. That's all it was. I mean, I don't think they should be suspended, though, and I think Stephen A. Smith is wrong for just singling out Jokic like that as if he didn't see Markieff Morris didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think the only problem Stephen A. had was
I don't know.
Behind his back.
I don't know. From all the video we seen, we just seen the shove. Now, I did start reading a little bit. I don't know if there was punches thrown after that. Now, if there was, I'm gonna have to go see if I can find it. But if there was, then we're talking a different ballgame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean and stuff. But be it as it may, you know what I mean. Jokic, I'm on Jokic's side right now. You know what I mean, because he didn't start it. Markieff started it. Hey, you don't. It's like I was taught back in the day. You don't want nobody touching you, then keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah.
Simple as that. It's as simple as that. But all right, everybody, we're gonna wrap up tonight's show. You know what I mean? Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as well as hit that notification icon to get all the latest content updates. We will be back at you guys tomorrow night, and we will be talking about Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter. That fight will be going down November 21st. So tomorrow's episode will be solely dedicated to that fight. So I hope to see you guys there. This is 717 Sports Chat Live. I'm Marcus. That's man. We out.